Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Easy English channel. We're absolutely thrilled to have you join us today because we're diving into a topic that's not only incredibly popular, but also incredibly insightful for English learners around the globe. Today, we're putting a linguistic spotlight on none other than the YouTube phenomenon, MrBeast.
That's right, Olivia. And before anyone worries, this isn't about his incredible challenges, the massive giveaways, or the sheer scale of his productions. While all those things are fascinating, our focus today is purely on his communication style, specifically how he speaks English, and more importantly, what we as English learners and educators can actually learn from his approach.
Exactly. When you think about it, MrBeast's videos are watched by hundreds of millions of people worldwide. A huge percentage of that audience isn't native English speakers, yet they understand him effortlessly. This is a goldmine for anyone trying to improve their English. So, Steve, what do you think is the fundamental reason his English is so universally understood?
Well, Olivia, the first and perhaps most crucial reason is his mastery of simple, accessible vocabulary. MrBeast consistently opts for common, everyday words instead of complex or academic jargon. He's not trying to impress you with his lexicon. He's trying to get a message across quickly and clearly. Think about it. Instead of saying commence, he says start. Instead of endeavor, he says try. This choice makes his content incredibly approachable for a global audience.
That makes so much sense. It removes a huge barrier for learners. When you don't have to constantly look up words, you can focus on the message. Can you give us a more concrete example of this simple vocabulary in action?
Absolutely. If you listen to his challenges, he uses phrases like last one to leave wins or first to react gets the prize. Notice how direct and concise that is. He doesn't say the individual who is the final participant to exit the designated area shall be deemed victorious. See the difference? Simple, direct verbs, common nouns. For learners, this means less mental effort trying to decode complex sentences and more brain power absorbing the actual content and structure of the language.
That's such a great point about reducing mental effort. Okay, so simple vocabulary is key. What's the next big takeaway for our listeners?
The second tip, which works hand in hand with simple vocabulary, is his incredibly clear pronunciation. MrBeast speaks at a moderate pace, articulating his words distinctly. He doesn't mumble or rush. Especially at the beginning of his videos when he's setting the scene or explaining the rules of a challenge, he's very deliberate. This helps viewers, especially those still developing their listening skills, to process every word without feeling overwhelmed.
I've noticed that. It's like he's almost teaching you the words as he says them. And it's not just about being slow. It's about the clarity, isn't it? The crispness of each sound.
Precisely, Olivia. And building on that, he uses strong emphasis effectively. He stresses important words, almost highlighting them with his voice. This isn't just about sounding dramatic. It's a powerful tool for conveying meaning and guiding the listener's attention. When he says you win this much money, that you and this much are given extra weight, signaling what's critical. For English learners, practicing this kind of emphasis can not only improve clarity, but also boost confidence and make their speech sound more natural and engaging.
That's fantastic advice. So we have simple vocabulary, clear pronunciation, and strong emphasis. What else can we learn from his communication style?
Another powerful technique he employs, often subtly, is repetition. MrBeast frequently repeats key ideas or rephrases them slightly, especially if they're crucial to understanding a challenge or a storyline. This isn't just accidental. It's a deliberate strategy that reinforces the message. For learners, this provides multiple opportunities to hear the same concept, solidifying their understanding and memory. If you didn't quite catch it the first time, the repetition gives you another chance.
That's so true. It's like he's ensuring no one gets lost, which is vital in a fast-paced video. It ties into the educational aspect of how we learn language, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It's a fundamental pedagogical principle. And speaking of engagement, we can't forget his incredible energy and enthusiasm. His voice is dynamic. It has an active and engaging quality. He uses variations in pitch, pace, and volume to keep things exciting. Even when the words themselves are simple, his delivery makes them sound thrilling. For learners, experimenting with vocal variety can make a huge difference. It helps you express emotion and prevent your speech from sounding monotone, which can be disengaging.
That's a point often overlooked, the how you say something, the emotional connection you create. So, Steve, for our listeners who are keen to improve their English, what are the top actionable steps they can take to incorporate these MrBeast-inspired communication hacks into their own practice?
Great question, Olivia. Here are 3 super practical tips. First, consciously aim to use simple words. When you're speaking or even writing, try to opt for the most common synonym. If you find yourself reaching for a complex word, pause and think, is there a simpler way to say this? Use a basic dictionary or thesaurus to find simpler alternatives. The goal isn't to dumb down your speech, but to make it universally clear. Less is often more in effective communication.
That's a great starting point. What's next?
Second, speak clearly and a little slower than you might naturally. Don't feel pressure to rush. Focus on articulating your sounds. Practice reading aloud in front of a mirror or record yourself. Listen back to ensure each word is distinct. Pay attention to the ends of your words, like T's and D's. And remember to use that strong emphasis on key words to guide your listener, just like MrBeast does.
This isn't about being robotic. It's about being understood.
Self-recording is such a powerful tool. And finally, your third tip for our listeners. My third tip is to consciously repeat important ideas or phrases. If you're explaining something, don't be afraid to rephrase it in a slightly different way a minute later. If you're making a crucial point, state it clearly and then perhaps summarize it again at the end of your thought. This reinforces the message and shows your listener you want to ensure they fully grasp what you're communicating. It's not just for learning, it's a sign of a thoughtful speaker.
That's such helpful and actionable tips, Steve. It really boils down to this. You don't need perfect English, which can be daunting. What you truly need is clear, understandable English that connects with your audience.
Exactly. Don't let the pursuit of perfection stop you from communicating effectively. Start with these simple techniques. Practice a little every day. Watch MrBeast and actively listen to how he speaks, not just what he says. Your English will improve faster and become more impactful than you think.
Fantastic advice, Steve. Thank you so much for breaking down MrBeast's communication style for us today. And thank you to all our amazing listeners for tuning in to the Easy English channel. We hope this episode inspires you to communicate with clarity and confidence.
Absolutely. Keep practicing, keep learning, and remember, keep it simple, keep it clear. We'll catch you next time.